Welcome to another video. Hope everyone's doing alright and that. This time something a little bit different, because apart from the models and the walking and that, another big interest of mine is tech. I love it. I love new tech, I love old tech. And since about lockdown I've been watching some stuff on retro games and that. I watch RMC The Cave, LGR, stuff like that. It's absolutely fantastic. I love to see all them old consoles being used and that and set up and fixed and that. And I would love a room full of vintage gear, but I just haven't got the skills to maintain it all and that. But I thought I'd treat myself, and I got myself on Amazon, and I've been picking myself up one of these things. It's an X2 Ultra game stick. I've been playing it for about a week. It's not perfect, but I tell you what, for 50 quid, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So in this video, we're going to get out of the box, set it up and that, have a poke around, see what it's like, check a couple of the games out. And yeah, fantastic. Let's get into some retro gaming and that. Right, let's quickly get this out of the box. Absolutely fantastic. Sorry about the creases in the tablecloth and that. It only turned up about half an hour ago and I don't own an iron. I'm hoping they'll just drop out on this by themselves, but fantastic. I say I got this from Amazon, 50 quid. It comes in 3 flavours, starting at about 40 quid. I got the 256GB model, which has got 58,000 games on it. That is insane, that, 58,000 games. But I think the start, it's 64 gigabytes, which is about 11,000 games, I think. But fantastic. Right, let's see what's in it. I've been playing it for about the last week, and I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked on it. But you get a little manual. We don't really need that. You get the stick itself, and a dongle for your controllers. And then the controllers themselves. And you get a couple of wires. We'll get rid of the box. You get an HDMI, like twisty thing. So if your HDMI socket in the back of your telly is a bit wonky, you can just use it on the end of that. Fantastic. And a USB for the power. Now the power, I would always go to a plug. I wouldn't go to your TV because the TVs haven't got enough power to run the stick properly. And it'll just keep crashing on you. But fantastic. But you get the 2 controllers here. I'm doing this upside down for some strange reason, like. And yeah, they're fantastic. They're not like the best controllers in the world, but you've got to remember, this is 50 quid, you know, 50 quid. But they're fantastic, man, fantastic. The power from 2 batteries, 2 little AAAs are there. You just whack them in. I have got batteries already in the orange one because that's the one I've been using. But you just whack the batteries in, whack that on. Then we'll wait to go. You press this button here. And it's on. It's just flashing, waiting to be paired up with the stick. But fantastic. But we'll have a look at this stick. It's tiny. It's about the size of an Amazon Fire Stick and that. I mean, you can load all these games onto an Amazon Fire Stick, but they're a bit dodgy. They don't work that well. They don't work that well at all. But fantastic. Just straight into your HDMI socket. There's a power cable there. There's an SD card there. That's got all the games on. I would advise you copy that, because I think the weakest point of all this is going to be the SD card. I mean, the one I use in my drone cost £30 on its own. This was 50 quid all in, so I'd definitely copy that. So you've got a backup in that. Right, let's get it set up on this monitor that I've got set up waiting. And we'll have a look, see what the setup is. Literally plug and play, it's fantastic. You take your little dongle for your joy pads and you stick it in the top and the USB. Fantastic. You can use third-party controllers if you want, and that fantastic, as long as they're 2.4 gigabytes. I don't think there's any Bluetooth on here, but that's fine. Then it's literally, you just take the cap off that. If you're going to use the bendy thing, put it on now. Fantastic. Take the cap off. Then just after I've plugged it into the back of the monitor, I'm just going to plug the USB in. Simple as that, simple as that. So we'll go into the HDMI. Then in with the power, and a little green light comes on inside the game stick itself. Absolutely fantastic. And you just wait, it'll run you through this little startup animation and that. It's quite good really, like. It finishes a bit abruptly, but it sets itself up nicely, then it loads its ROMs in. Fantastic, so we'll swap to a capture card. We'll have a look around its interface and that. And yeah, fantastic, we'll take a look at a couple of the games. Right, once it's finished its boot up process, it'll bring you to this screen here. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to turn this music down a bit in case I get a copyright strike off YouTube. Fantastic, but the layout, nice and simple, really easy to use and that, fantastic. You've got your column on that side with all your systems on. You've got your controls along the bottom, fantastic, and in the middle at the top, you've got how many games you've got for each system. If I go up to all games, you'll see this one's got 58,320 games on. That's nuts, that, nuts. Not all of them work. They do have the problems, some of them. Some of them are compatibility problems, like if they're meant for a keyboard, they might not work with a controller, or they might just crash. Sometimes I've had to pull the plug out a couple of times to reset it. But it's a 50 quid device with nearly 60,000 games on. I'm just going to stick it in my big telly and let it get on with it. It's never going to be connected to the internet and that, because I wouldn't advise putting anything like this on your home system and that. But just plug it into the telly and have a go, man. It's fantastic. But we've got like a lot of the consoles and that. This handheld one, the PSP, fantastic. Sega Naomi. There's some I've never even heard of. Some I've read about in magazines when I was a young'un and that, which I'm keen to play with and that, but fantastic. But yeah, we'll quickly flick through them, then I'll show you some games. But a DS, Nintendo 64, fantastic. A little bit problems with the controller compatibility with that one, with some of the games, and some of them don't run 100%, but majority of them absolutely fantastic. PlayStation, not had a problem with the PlayStation yet. Fantastic arcade classics, Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, Nintendos, all these early consoles work absolutely fine on this, absolutely fine. They're fantastic. I sat and played 1943 the other day, from start to finish, all 15 levels, absolutely mint. Got the Sega 32 there, that come a bit late for the Mega Drive, but fantastic, man. I've never played a Sega 32 system before. They've got 37 games. I don't think there was that many ever released for it either. But fantastic. Master System, remember that? Alex Kidd built in and all that. Fantastic. Ataris, Amstrad, the posh one with the telly. MAMES, arcade games, fantastic. Atari ST, was it a posh Amiga with a MIDI system? We'll never know. I'm geeking out a little bit here, like, so I'll try and rein it in a little bit. But fantastic. Atom's Wave, I've never heard of that, fantastic. But these you can just explore for hours and hours. I say I was on it one Sunday afternoon, last Sunday, and the day just flashed before my eyes. Capcom, all the arcade games and that, absolutely fantastic. All your Street Fighters and that'll be in here and that. Mint. Commodore 64, nice old system and that. There's a couple missing, like the BBCs and the ZX, not the Spectrum's on here, the ZX81 and that. But fantastic. The Amiga, fantastic, my favourite one. There's 1,051 games on this. But I did find a lot of them crashed, and a lot of them were, I think, keyboard compatible. I haven't tried a keyboard with it yet. I'm going to in time. So if you want to see a more in-depth video, tell us in the comments, because I'll put one together. But fantastic. FB Alpha, never heard of that. MSX, I read about that when I was a kid. But fantastic. Odyssey 2, Televisions. Vectrex, mint, man. They're all here. All here. Super Nintendos, Virtual Boys. That was a weird one, wasn't it? Let's go into this. All these, like, I don't know what you call that. It's nuts. There's loads of them. Like a red colour. Fantastic. But they're all on here and that. And you've got these ones with the stars. They're the ones I've played. And it automatically kicks them into your favourites, which is pretty good and that. But once you've played loads of them, your favourites become massive. But fantastic. Mario Tennis and that. I think that was the one that this one launched with. I remember seeing that one on the telly. But fantastic. Neo Geos. I've never played any of them. Looking forward to that. Sega CD. Dreamcast. Genesis. American Mega Drive. Mint. Mint, man. Sinclair Spectrum. Fantastic. I think that's Zool, you know, in that picture. He had a couple of big games out on the Amiga. Fantastic. Well, fantastic. And we're back round to all games. Mint. Right. I'll show you a couple of the games. Maybe a PSP one, Nintendo 64 one and that. A couple of old ones. And yeah, fantastic. I'll give you my conclusions. Right, we'll start with this absolute classic. Sonic the Hedgehog for the Mega Drive. And as you can see, it's absolutely flawless, mate. Absolutely flawless. So all these Mega Drive games and that work absolutely mint. No problems whatsoever. I was pretty rubbish at this when I was a young'un. Hey. But as you can see, works perfect. Right, let's move on to one of the Capcom arcade games, 1944, which I was playing the other day. We'll see how we'll get on with that one. Fantastic. Right, here we go, 1944 Capcom arcade game. You can see this one, it's a little bit stretched out because it was made for a different aspect ratio, 4:3. And this is 16:9, I think it's shown in. But it's fine, man, fine. I sat and played this last Sunday for hours, absolute hours. The whole day went passing the blur. It's a fantastic game, fantastic game. Right, let's move on to something that'll push it a bit harder. Because like I say, all these early games and that work absolutely fine, absolutely fine. Right, I'll move over to the PSP and Vice City Stories. Look at this. Runs perfectly fine. I tell you what, this is a great game, this like. I haven't played this for years. I think it was PlayStation 2 was the last time I played this game. I'm trying to behave myself so YouTube don't tell us off. But yeah, absolutely flawless. Flawless. Hey. Right, let's move on to something that it's not too clever with and see what happens when it does start breaking apart. Right, I'll move over to GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. And this is all over the place, this side, all over the place. The music sort of sounds alright. It's not glitchy like that, you can move about okay, but when you come to aim up, look at that. That's not good at all, that one, no good at all. Unplayable, it's unplayable. Yeah, there's a few of them like this, there's a few of them that don't work at all. Right, the last game we're going to test is this, Crazy Taxi 2 on the Dreamcast, and as you can see, it's working absolutely fine, absolutely fine. Not wrong with it at all. It's just a bit selective with some of the games. Right, and there you have it. What do you reckon? I reckon it's alright, mate, like 50 quid. Fantastic, man, fantastic. Like I say, it's not without its problems. And it does play up from time to time, but most of the games work absolutely perfect. Especially all these classic ones and that. They're great, they're great. Controllers, they work absolutely fine, look at that. Doesn't stutter, doesn't stutter. But yeah, man, if you're into retro games and that, and you're like me, you haven't really got the skills or the know-how to maintain all the systems and that, this could be for you, man. Stick it in your big telly, kick back and play some retro gaming. So thanks very much for watching the video. Hit likes, hit subscribes, do all the YouTubey stuff for us and that. Next time I might be out for a walk. Then we're going to start the next model. So fantastic. So yep, until next time, see you later.